Hello, I'm Layla McKinnon. Welcome to A Current Affair. It's great to be with you. They were told they should feel lucky that their town has been chosen as the site of a lead-acid battery recycling plant. But these families are furious and fearful. They've been warned that the battery chemicals have poisoned children. And this one is all set to be built less than 2 kilometres from the primary school.
Do we want answers?
Yes!
It shouldn't be done, and we're not going to stand for it to happen.
In Victoria's Latrobe Valley, Hazelwood North is the type of town that marches together.
Do we want a smelter?
No!
We are sick of being overridden.
And the kind of place that speaks with one voice.
No lead smelter for Hazelwood!
Thanks to recent government approval, this is about to be transformed into a lead recycling plant. Before the plan went through, those building it told locals, if you don't want it, we won't build it. Well, the community's been clear, they don't want it. And yet those pushing the proposal are going ahead anyway.
I don't want to live in a community with a lead smelter and expose my child to that. And I don't want other children to be exposed to it in particular.
Jenny lives in Hazelwood with husband Brendan and son Liam. And like many others in her community, she feels she's been played.
This is our lives, not theirs. And I've seen the impact that it not just on us, but other people in this community. Some that have had families that have lived here for generations, like over 100 years. Others that have lived here, you know, for 20, 25, 30 years. And the emotional toll that it's taken, and I'm talking, you know, psychological impact is huge, and it's just not fair.
而今，新纯晶已成为中国最大的。
2 years ago, Chinese-owned company Chunxing announced plans to build a lead battery recycling plant in Hazelwood. 85% of the world's lead consumption is used in making lead-acid batteries, mainly for cars. These batteries can be recycled by melting down the lead and refining it to create new batteries. It's a profitable business, but the chosen site in Victoria was uncomfortably close for Jenny and her family.
We're going to have to pack up and leave us. It'd be irresponsible of us to stay here with a 9-year-old and expose him to that and then be sorry in the future that he has, you know, got lead poisoning, you know.
The lead refining process emits lead fumes and dust into the air. Without the proper safety measures, those fumes can carry, polluting soil and crops and potentially poisoning community members. The proposed site is less than 2 kilometres from homes like Jenny's and 1.7 kilometres from Hazelwood North Primary School.
They are going to destroy the lives of those children.
Phyllis Omadol has become a worldwide campaigner against lead recycle plants after a facility near her home in Kenya poisoned her son and led to the deaths of other children in her community. From her home in Mombasa, Phyllis sends words of encouragement to the locals at Hazelwood.
They need to stand up. They need to say no to this plant, not because of themselves, but because of those children.
Last year, local council received a presentation from Chunxing, the company behind the smelter. The company's CEO telling locals they should feel lucky to be considered for the plant.
I have been approached by a number of other Victorian local government councils to establish this facility within their region.
After a people power campaign, the council voted down the plan, but Chunxing appealed, and the issue was to be settled at Victoria's building tribunal, VCAT. And this is where this issue moves from the regions to the steps of power. In the last days of 2020, Victoria's Planning Minister Richard Wynne personally green-lighted plans to move ahead with the lead-acid battery recycle centre, effectively cancelling the VCAT hearing and robbing the Hazelwood locals of a chance to have their say. The decision came as a shock to the Fraser family, who recently bought land a few paddocks from the primary school.
To just come through with a blanket rule to just proceed with it, I don't understand how that can happen.
On its website, Chunxing boasts of its involvement in China's Belt and Road Initiative. The agreement Victoria signed with the superpower to partner with China on infrastructure projects, despite our federal security agencies advising against it. And a deeper dive into Chun Sing's supporting documents for the smelter leaves a bit to be desired. Chun Sing engaged a Sydney environmental firm named NRisks to produce a human risk assessment. The report uses stick figure-like drawings to illustrate its findings, while on the NRisks website, one staff bio comes with a photo of Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner. Ultimately, the authors of this report conclude that the risk to human health at Hazelwood would be negligible. But the document does reveal that that finding was based partially on information provided by the company itself, which Chun Sing says comes from air monitoring conducted at its other facility in the Jiangsu province of China. Nonetheless, Minister Richard Wynne says the facility will be safe and cited the Environmental Protection Agency, which has approved the safety measures. We asked for an interview, but Mr Wynne's office said he was on holidays, so we took up the case with his colleague, Industry Support Minister Martin Pakula. Why doesn't the government think the community of Hazelwood should have a chance to have their say at a VCAT hearing?
Well, not to be disrespectful, but I think you probably need to direct that question to the Planning Minister.
Is this an example of what the Belt and Road means for Victoria, that Chinese companies get put ahead of Latrobe Valley community?
No, I don't think it means that at all. But as I said, it's not something that I've had any involvement with. It's clearly a matter for the Planning Minister.
The people of Hazelwood are hoping the Minister and Chun Sing make their decision based on what the local community actually wants.
I want Chun Sing to do what they said that they would do. The overwhelming majority of this community do not want the lead smelter, that they will walk away. So we're asking you to walk away.
And we asked the Chun Sing CEO which other councils put their hand up for the lead smelter, but he refused to tell us. And while Minister Richard Wynne's office said there were 68 long-term jobs on offer, locals say they refused to compromise their health by working there.